As the Golden State Warriors stare down the inevitable aging curve of their superstar trio, the window for another NBA championship is closing fast. With Stephen Curry, 37, Jimmy Butler, 35, and Draymond Green, 35, no longer in the prime of their careers, it's clear the time for one more title run is now. The franchise is faced with a critical decision. Can they squeeze out one more shot at glory, or will Father Time claim victory over the heart of the team? After a second-round playoff exit where the Warriors' flaws were painfully exposed, especially when Curry wasn't his usual Chef Curry self, or worse, was off the floor entirely, the urgency is palpable. It became evident that this roster, built around an aging core, doesn't have the depth to overcome an off night from its leader or a potential injury setback. Mike Dunleavy Jr., the Warriors' general manager, has his hands full. While Curry, Butler, and Green are locked in for at least a few more seasons, Dunleavy needs to make strategic moves to ensure the franchise isn't left scrambling when the inevitable decline begins. A player who could complement Curry in ways that make the Warriors even more dangerous. This trade would bring a much-needed infusion of youth and skill to the roster, potentially reshaping the Warriors' title hopes. The trade Jonathan Kuminga and Trayce Jackson-Davis to Boston. According to Schwartz's proposal, the Warriors would pull off a sign-and-trade deal for Jonathan Kuminga, extending him for a projected 4-year, $88 million contract before shipping him off to Boston. Alongside Kuminga, the Warriors would also send Trayce Jackson-Davis, the promising rookie center, to the Celtics. This deal would be a game-changer for the Warriors. For one, adding a player like Derrick White to the roster would give Curry a new backcourt partner, a sharpshooter capable of putting up buckets with the best of them. White, who has proven himself as a reliable three-point shooter, would give Curry an ideal new splash brother to take some of the pressure off him, especially during the stretch run. Not only does White bring scoring, but he's also a versatile defender, capable of locking down multiple positions on the floor. His presence would add much-needed depth to a Warriors team that was woefully thin during their playoff run. Additionally, the Warriors would secure another experienced shooter in Sam Hauser. While Hauser isn't a household name, his shooting stroke could prove to be invaluable off the bench. In a playoff series, when every possession matters, having another sharpshooter who can step up in key moments could make all the difference. Hauser's championship pedigree with the Celtics would be another key asset that the Warriors would gain in this trade. What this deal means for the Celtics. From the Celtics' perspective, this trade is equally compelling, albeit for a very different set of reasons. The Celtics, under new ownership, are looking to make significant moves that will not only position them for future success, but also help balance their financial books. The $38+ million commitment due to a high-stakes gamble for both sides. This potential trade is a high-risk, high-reward move for both teams. For the Warriors, the trade would mark a last-ditch effort to secure one more title with their aging core. Adding White and Hauser could give Curry, Butler, and Green the reinforcements they need to make one final push toward championship glory. But the stakes are incredibly high. If this trade doesn't work out, if the new pieces don't fit into the Warriors' unique system or fail to contribute in the postseason, it could set the franchise back in a major way. For the Celtics, shedding the long-term financial commitments while adding a young, versatile talent like Kuminga offers long-term flexibility. However, there's always the risk of moving off proven players like White and Hauser, especially when you're in the thick of a title race with a team that is on the cusp of greatness. The balance between immediate championship aspirations and long-term roster building is a delicate one for Boston, and this trade could either help them secure their place as the team to beat in the East or set them back in their quest for the next title. Conclusion. The future of the Warriors and Celtics hinges on bold moves. In an NBA landscape where championships are won by those who make the boldest moves, this proposed trade could be the final piece the Warriors need to push them over the top. But it would also mark the end of an era for the Celtics, ushering in a new phase of development and strategy. With both teams at a crossroads, the question remains: will they make the right moves? Only time will tell if this blockbuster trade is the key to a new dynasty or a high-stakes gamble that ultimately doesn't pay off.